Hey there, everybody. This is Code Symphonia 13, Will from Maho Tofu, and this will be the first edition of a new mini-series I'm starting, which is called Let's Ship, which is going to be talking about the shipping community and the role shipping plays in specific series. And today with me, I have a friend of the site, guest writer, a Rooster Illusion, my friend Duke.
Hey everybody, how's it going?
All right. Now today we're going to be talking about the role that shipping plays in the very popular series Fairy Tail. Now, Fairy Tail is something that I assume a lot of people know about. It's a Jump series. It's written by Hiro Mashima. He did Rave Master, and you can see the similarities in the art. People make fun of that all the time. It doesn't look bad. It's just they're so similar. The thing is, it's a series. You got your whole shonen thing. You know, people have magic powers. It's about mages. And, you know, they're part of a guild, your pseudo-family, and you're out there fighting and stuff. And that's basically the story. Things get intense. It's a very emotional series. And with emotion, with all the people in the guild, you have people that end up spending so much time together, or in some people's cases, such little time together, people are like, I bet they would be a good couple. And that's kind of basically what shipping is. For those of you that don't know, shipping is when you think that some group or two people or more people, in some cases if you want to be that kind of person, decides that these characters would be great together. Usually it makes sense, sometimes it makes no sense whatsoever. Either way, you support it, and that's shipping. And the internet really doesn't have much censorship on you, so it'll happen. Now, what we're going to do is I am going to go through a series of questions. We're going to talk about some of the things that we like about shipping and Fairy Tail. Now, Duke, first question. You ready?
All right, yeah.
What is your favorite ship in Fairy Tail?
All right. Okay, first I want to say this is a really tough question, but I'm going to have to go with Gruvia, which is Gray and Juvia.
Good choice. Just saying. So why don't you tell the people around here why you like Gruvia?
Because it's just downright hilarious. Both characters are great. Gray is always hilarious because of his habit, as we all know. He just likes randomly strip, which is weird. And Juvia's obsession with him is just hilarious.
Undying love plus a need to strip, that's unique.
That is an interesting ship indeed.
Alright, so that's why you like it. Now, what are some of the moments in the series that really sparked your love for this couple?
I mean, the first moment where this, Juvia lays eyes on him and just instantly falls in love with him is, one of the most memorable and notable events that happens. But, yeah, all their events are just hilarious together. That's all I can really say.
Aside from that, the initial meeting, pick one more significant part of the series where you're like, this is what makes them a great couple. You have to pick one.
Alright, can I pick one from, the manga?
Yeah, the manga is farther along anyways.
Oh, okay, I can only pick one, right?
Pick one. I know it's a tough question, a lot of moments. I want you to pick one that is the statement moment thus far for you.
Okay, actually, I got it. Alright, so the moment when Juvia gets hurt, on the island, the island where they're testing on, Fairy Tail.
Right, the S-Class.
Yeah.
Arc.
And then she gets really beat up, and then he goes over and just grabs her and then defends her. That was definitely a key moment for the whole shipping feel for it, because you finally see Gray, who normally ignores her, show some kind of reciprocating emotion or feeling.
Mm-hmm. I also very much enjoyed that moment. I'm a Groovy fan myself, and not just that, but also what happened before when she's in the fight with the person who could link feelings.
Yeah,
and she has to injure herself in order to save Gray. Big. That's not just obsession anymore. Yeah, big sacrifice. It's not just obsession. That's love. You know,
that is
love. Gotta go through that. Now, my favorite ship is probably the most widely known, biggest fan base type ships, and that would be Nalu, which is Natsu, the main character, and Lucy, the other main character. And what makes them great? First off, they meet in the beginning because they're the main characters. Natsu's part of the guild. He's going around. He's looking for his dad, air quotes dad, and he meets Lucy, who she's going around. She's a maid. She's not big time or anything. She's going around trying to get into a guild, and she kind of gets duped by this guy who's using illegal love potion type stuff, pheromone things.
Yeah, like love magic.
And which is illegal. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
And so they meet, and then he's like, "Come with me to Fairy Tale." So you part of this big guild, and they become partners, going on missions together and stuff. And it's just because of the main characters, because they go on these missions together, you get tons of development, tons. They're great. I would have to say that my my favorite moment?
There's a lot.
They have like
lot.
5 moments per episode into a chapter. You know.
Yeah, definitely.
I would say that my favorite Nalu moment would probably have to be it's very recently, because obviously they're getting a little more intense with the Nalu, and right now they're in an arc where they have there's been a time skip, and they're into this whole we have this tournament we're gonna fight in, but they're always going after Lucy, and so Lucy gets kidnapped, right? And then Natsu's like, all right, screw the tournament, I'm gonna go save her. And the first attempt fails, like they get separated. And then the chapter has this one thing where he has to fight this guy, Natsu. He's one of those muscle-headed shonen guys. He's like, I want to fight everybody. But his line's something like, man, if I can't find Lucy, there's not even, what's the point of being here? I'm like, all right, there we go. That is the defining moment, Nalu. I know you like you some Nalu, Duke.
Yeah, I have to agree. That was one of my favorite moments, because it does really, it's like the peak of the current development right now.
Mm-hmm. And that's big.
But dude, don't forget, there's this other notable like scene. Remember when like she tries to get get back at him for constantly sleeping at her house and chilling at her place? She stalks him. That was a good moment too. Like,
there's just so many good Nalu moments. Like, and Fairy Tail focuses a lot on shipping, so we have a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
But those are our favorite ships. We'll talk a little more about them later. But now we're getting to some other stuff. Duke, what do you think is the most overrated ship in the series?
All right, for me, I'd have to say the Elfman and Evergreen.
Overrated?
Or overrated? I thought you said underrated. Sorry,
No.
Overrated. Okay, for that, I have to say Urza and Jalal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just don't feel that one. That one's just bothers me.
Uh-huh. And I'll put my 2 cents in, because I also think it's the most overrated ship. People love it, and there's that, but there's a few reasons why I don't particularly like it myself. And number one is because and this is the excuse people give, because like in the beginning, the first Jalal really hurt Erza.
Yeah, he was like quote-unquote possessed.
Right,
And...
you know, yeah, slave stuff, and people are like, it's okay, New Jalal isn't that one, he's the Edolos one. And then my initial thought on that is, then don't they have even less development going into the relationship?
Yeah, it kind of just cuts it in half.
Right, it's like the development that is there for me isn't enough, and then the development that was there, not only is it not him, but it's bad development. Like, we're talking about slavery and all kinds of labor.
Torture.
It was bad. It was
betrayal.
Like, when you think of Jalal in the series, from people that don't know about Edolos and the alternate world, people always think, man, that's that guy that everyone wants to kill right now.
He's the douchebag.
Mm-hmm. And it's not only that, it's, you know, you can say that about most of the girls in you can say this about most of the girls in Fairy Tail, where, like, they're strong characters that can be independent. I would say Erza's even a step ahead of that, where, like, obviously she doesn't need anyone. And they're not really, aside from a few moments with Jalal, they're not really forcing relationships on her. Which, honestly, like I said, she doesn't need them.
Yeah, that is very true.
I say that, but I've forced shipping on a lot of characters. It's just how I am. And, like I said, it's not one that I'm feeling. And for considered possibly, like, one of the big 4 in terms of ships in Fairy Tail, it's just, I don't put it that high.
Yeah,
like, I don't put it on par with, like, a Nalu or a Gruvia, you know? Just because of the development back there. So, that's just me. I don't know.
Yeah, same here pretty much. It's just the whole bad start thing with the first Jalal, and then the lack of development with the second Jalal. The fact that there's 2 Jalals, it's just really not very helpful towards the whole shipping movement with that character.
Mm-hmm. Segue.
Yeah.
We're done talking about overrated. This is now talking about ships with a bad start. Gale, which is Gajeel and Levy. That's it's it's not maybe on like Jalal level, but this is pretty much as bad as a prominent ship can get when it comes to starting.
You would not really, when you first see them together, you wouldn't suspect that they become a ship because he beats the hell out of her two buddies and then hangs them all up like on a tree, right?
Right.
Or somewhere, and then doodles his original guild emblem on her stomach. That was just weird.
Right. The whole you start out as enemies and he beats you up deal, that's not cool.
That's not really shipping material.
But,
for some people.
Yeah, some people can ship anything. But what takes a turn is when you get the development after that arc where like they fight the two guilds and Gajil's guild loses, where the master, Makarov for Fairy Tail, decides that he's going to take Gajil in because he wasn't really a bad guy. He was just one of those lost kids that needed a home, went to a guild, fought for the guild kind of deal. So he comes in, becomes a member of Fairy Tail, and he starts to grow, becomes less jaded, becomes more part of the guild. And as he grows, I don't understand how initially, but he starts building this bond with Levi, the girl he beat up.
Didn't he apologize at some point? I can't remember. Memory doesn't serve.
It was right in between that arc and the Luxus arc where he lets Jet and Joy beat him up because he doesn't want to fight back. He's trying to prove that, he's not evil anymore.
Yeah, right.
That's his, air quotes, apology.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of, right.
Even though he could have easily beaten up, Jet and Joy aren't strong.
Yeah, they're not.
But after that, like, he protects the guild. More often than not, he protects Levi, especially when they're fighting Luxus and, like, the lightning goes after.
Yeah, he really proves himself as a character.
Right, and they're really building, and, I would have to say a defining moment, we talked about protecting her, a defining moment for them, maybe not pure development-wise, but something like an event that happened was, we talked about this whole new arc where there was a time skip and they're going to tournament. Well, they had to train before that tournament. And before the training, they decided... before the tournament, when they decided to train, they broke off in the groups. Gajil and Panther Lily, which is his cat, they went off to train, and Levi wanted to go with them. And when she says that, Lucy decides that she's going to pull a happy roll and ship them for us.
Yeah, like she just pointed out blatantly, like, oh, you're looking at Gajil, huh?
Yeah, so even though it has a very awkward start, it's becoming a pretty prominent cup.
Yeah.
And I like New Gajil, so I'm a big fan of it personally.
Yeah, he's still a little rough around the edges, but he's still pretty hilarious, and he's a character that you can really trust now, because he's proven himself time and time again.
Right. And, see, there's a lot of characters that were introduced in this series. I mean, we've already talked about 4 ships that get quite a bit of development. Mm-hmm. But now we're going to go to underrated ships, like ships you think are good and should have gotten more screen time than they already have. What are you thinking, Duke?
All right, I said it earlier by accident, but so Elfman and Evergreen. I mean, that one they kind of had a bad start too, because remember, like they kind of had a little rivalry going on. Mm-hmm. Like Evergreen was working with Laxus, and they were kind of fighting with the original guild, and that's why you wouldn't really ever see Elfman and Evergreen getting together. But in the recent arc, like the tournament and the growth and whatnot, or actually before that, like the islands, right? That's when you see them as a couple because they worked as a team, and then they had to go through trials together. And in the recent arc, they kind of pretty much almost sealed the deal. Would you say that? Sealed the deal pretty much on them being a ship because they both go to a water park together. Right.
Let me explain that. This might be a ship that you could technically consider canon. Part of the fandom decided to declare canon at that point. For those of you that don't know, canon means that it's official, basically. And what it was everyone decided to go to a water park, and the only thing was Elfman and Evergreen were hiding because they planned to go there before everyone else.
Yeah, they were doing it like just with just themselves, and they're like, "Oh man, everyone's here. Great. What are we gonna do now?"
Yep, and Big Slow and Freed, who were partners with Evergreen when fighting with Luxus, turned around like, "Ooh, I see what's going on over here,"
Like, oh man, it's going down.
Like it's basically canon, which
I think it's canon.
Right?
What do you think, Will?
It has to be canon. Like, if you say it's not canon, I'll believe you because I guess like they didn't kiss or anything, but it's more canon than a lot of series get. You know?
Definitely. you might even consider more canon than a lot of the ships that are currently going on Fairy Tale. So.
Which, you're going to go on a date. That's a big step. And aside from the date, Duke, what was the defining moment in their shipping history for you that makes them worthy of being one of the better underrated ships?
Wasn't there a moment where he actually defended her, right?
Define defend, because
actually protecting her physically.
Oh, you mean in the S-Class tournament arc? Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that was the one where you first would think of them being a ship, because he's shown caringness towards her, despite her passive being.
Oh, when they're fighting the glasses guy and he carries her back to the base.
Oh yeah.
All right. Yeah. No. Yeah. That's a big moment, and it's odd because they don't really before that develop Elfman as the type of guy you would think would have shipping going on.
I mean, he's just manly. That's
muscle guy.
Muscle guy. He's just straight up shonen muscle guy, muscle head, or would that be appropriate? Yeah.
Yeah. Meathead, muscle head. That's what they call him.
Yeah.
And I would say that aside from that, you have a more recent moment too that's very good. We've been talking about the new tournament arc because Hiromashima has been breaking down and deciding to feed into all the shipping and throw a lot of stuff in there.
Oh yeah.
And in this arc, when Elfman wins a battle, gets heavily injured, and Evergreen stays with him, and instead of, we said Elfman's manly, he calls everyone man. He's like, you gotta be a man. Sup, man. How are you? He even calls women man. He called her woman, which is, by his standards, if you watch the series, read the series, very important, a very big deal to him.
True, that is a very, very good moment.
Plus, she's sleeping at his bedside when he's injured. That's
that's instant shipping flag right there. Just no question.
Right. My underrated ship has a little less story relevance right now, and that's because it's I can't believe I'm looking at Alzac and Bisca, and those who don't know who Alzac and Bisca are, they were there's these two people that use gun magic.
Yeah, they're the sharpshooters, the cowboy-ish characters. They're side characters, kind of.
Right, and in the parts where the people aren't going off on journeys, like when you're back at the guild and stuff, you see them. They were always and it was kind of a joke that they're not together yet. They obviously want to be together, kind of deal. And it was funny, it was cute. And then they come back from the time skip, and they're married and have a daughter. And I was like, oh yeah, that's what I was waiting for. We need some canon relationships. I was a little upset that was the first canon, even though I like them, because I want Nalu to be canon. But Alzac and Bisca, they're great together. They have a daughter who everyone's like, oh, she's so cute.
Hey, Will, I just remembered something.
What?
Do you remember the Adolis arc where it showed the reverse of them?
Yeah. One of the arcs in the series, they go to an alternate dimension type world where people have opposite personalities, and instead of being very shy with each other, they go over there and they're all over each other, which is very odd because they were so into it. But it shows that the series does recognize them as a full-on couple.
Yeah, it was Mashima's suggestion.
Right.
He was pushing it a bit.
And we got it. And I think it's a good romance. It's nice. I'm always a fan of people getting married, having kids in the series, and the underrated because, it wasn't a big part of the story.
Yeah, I mean, they are considered side characters.
Mm-hmm. And then there's another thing, because once again we have so many characters, there are a lot of lesser known or ships that don't have a lot of backing, and I'm just going to start listing a few, and there's anything that involves Mira Jane. People are like, oh, Mira Jane and Luxus, and I think they only say that because they're older characters, maybe.
They're two of the strongest characters in the guild.
They're like, oh, there's that. There's some comments he made about her before Luxus attacked the guild. I guess that's not really a thing. There's Freed and Mira Jane, which is really after Mira Jane beat him up.
Yeah, that one episode.
And then she's like, oh, it's okay because part of the guild. I guess that's where people get stuff from. Don't really care for that. Some people ship Mira Jane and Natsu because of when they go back in time and they show arcs from their kids, and she thinks he's cute when he's crying. Once again, it doesn't take a lot for people to ship things.
Just one episode can really
I honestly don't think Mira Jane's going to get any romantic development, really.
She's
not a bad. Not a bad thing. Obviously.
Would you consider her a side character? Also, I kind of want to, but
she's I'd say a B character. Yeah,
not a C character.
Higher level side character.
Yeah, not an A class character.
Right. There's that. There's basically any other ships like Leon and Juvia. I don't like that because it throws something into.
It attacks my favorite shipping of Gruvia, so I disapprove of it highly.
Yeah, let's not talk about that. Damn you, Leon. He only likes her because he thinks she's hot. That's not enough. That's not enough
That's
base.
shallow.
How dare you?
Yeah.
You know, there's that kind of stuff. There's a lot of things going on, and for me to get into everything would take way too long. But those are some of the lesser known ones, and it's just, you know, if you like them, look into them. If not, not. Now we're gonna talk about something that has been it's been diminishing in terms of its importance, but it was a huge deal in the beginning, and it'll always, I guess, be looming around, and that's Lysana and the effect she has on the shipping type of structure we have. And for those that don't know, Lysana is the younger sister of Mira Jane and Elfman. She was
childhood friend of
Natsu. I am a big fan of the childhood friend trope. That's my thing. And the story that they developed for her was really great when she was growing up with Natsu. Wouldn't you agree, Duke?
It was beautiful, dude. I mean, they took care of an egg together. They made a house first. It wasn't just playing house, because then they eventually found an egg to take care of. Mm-hmm. That egg somehow, I don't know, it's a magic world, turned into Happy the cat. Mm-hmm. And that was really, really touching. Like, you know, just seeing them work together and...
You know, even though they were little kids, Natsu fought to protect her, you know.
Yeah.
And it was
beautiful.
And they kept growing up together, and then she dies in the series after, like, they had known each other for a bunch of years, and it really hits Natsu hard, you know.
Yeah.
And it sucks because, you know, they were such a good couple. I'm like, man, that's unfortunate. I mean, I love Lucy. Not Lucy's my favorite couple, but the fact that you lose all that development was bad. And then something happens.
The Edalus arc.
Yeah, the Edalus arc, where they see Lysana over there. And what ends up happening is after the Edalus arc, it turns out that's not alternate world Lysana, that's the original world's Lysana who got teleported there. Now, a few things on that. Lysana has lost a lot of development after she came back to life, and people were upset about that. I was upset about that. I was like, what are you doing with Lysana? Why'd you even bring her back? Lysana was never supposed to come back to life. Hiro Mashima was going to keep her dead. She was just there to be there, I guess, like part of Natsu's past and everything. But the director of the anime wanted to bring her back. He really liked her character. So they brought her back, and because she wasn't part of Hiro Mashima's original plan, that's why she's lacking development right now. And it makes a lot of sense as to why she's lacking.
She's like below a C-rank character right now. Like she's the background pretty much. It's really depressing that she's...
Right. And I agree, she's a good character, and I guess that's why the director wanted to bring her back. And I'm really happy because I love Nalu, that Nalu's getting so much push. It's just, it's sad to see that happen to Lysana, that she's just, you know, thrown on the side because Mashima didn't want her back. I mean...
If they brought her back a different way and made her more prominent in Natsu's life...
Right.
That, you know, there could be some more development, maybe even more shipping going on, but right now, it's just pretty much dead because of the fact that she is, not literally, but, you know, figuratively dead in the series.
Right. Which sucks, like... Either let the writer do what he wants to do because you're trying to mess with the writer, or do something with her. You know, I don't like this limbo that she's left in. And I say this, but if she did have development, I would have one of the toughest choices in my life, because early on, it was a very tough choice for me whether or not I preferred Natsu with Lucy or Natsu with Lysana.
Yeah, well, it's childhood friend versus the new girl, which happens a lot in a lot of anime series.
Story of my shipping life.
Yeah, and as many of us might know, in a lot of anime, the childhood friend loses.
Dude,
Will is an expert of that. I am. Yeah, I know of it a lot. I too like the childhood friend, but honestly, yeah, they always lose to the new girl because the new girl has more things going for her or something like that.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah,
you know, that's basically mainstream shipping in fairy tale in a nutshell. You know, you have your Nalu shippers, your Gruvia shippers, you know. The shipping's in the anime. Like, people, like, Erza comes out at one point, and she's like, great, don't you realize Juvia's feelings for you? Like, people are shipping people. It's a big deal. I'm going to provide a picture, like, Hiro Mashima, like, he, obviously manga artists, they'll put out, like, drawings that they'll, like, just say, oh, here, I'm tweeting out this picture, and he'll, like, draw two characters together that people ship, and it's, like, it's the best form of fan service.
It's like a tease, dude. It's a tease.
It's a tease, but I love it.
Yeah, it's true.
I need things to happen. I'm glad I have this material. And it's just, the impact of shipping in the series is so great that, you know, you're getting the writer involved and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, the characters are pointing it out. That's something already.
Yeah, and it's just, as a person who enjoys shipping, I am just very happy that it's a thing, but I need some canon, you know? And let's talk about that. Why things need to be canon. Because people say you're getting shipping blue balls. I swear to God, this whole Natsu and Lucy not being together is getting me shipping black balls. I can't handle this. I can't, dude. It's been taking so long.
It's true. Dude. I mean, how many chapters do they have out? Like 300 something? Is it 300?
It's over. It's in the 300s. Yeah. It's 313. It came out.
Yeah, 313. Right.
Oh, that's how to mark the timer when this was recorded. Fairy Tail 313 came out today.
Yeah, right.
Which, I mean, it was nice, but man, I need things to get finalized. Like I said,
I mean,
I don't like Endgame.
Yeah. I mean, like, okay, so spoiler for the latest chapters, but yeah, so they just brought, like, there's some, like, time travel things going on in this new arc, and Future Lucy comes in. Now, many people are confused about that. What I personally am hoping for is that after they solve the whole issue with her being there, like, because she's there for a reason, like, trouble's gonna happen in the future and stuff like that. I hope that once they have that resolved, Future Lucy versus current Lucy. I just want to see that happen.
I mean, they've been pushing Shipping harder. I guess it's like, you had said this originally, that Future Lucy, because they showed, like, Future Levy also feeling remorse over, like, a loved one, that maybe she has known the pain of losing Natsu, and, like, that's going to throw a wrench into this whole business. And I want that. I want that because I hate Endgame. And this is why I hate Endgame. It's nice when couples do end up getting together, because I hate it even more when they have romantic elements and then say, screw it, we're not going to do anything with them. Like, you'll end a series without characters getting together. But I hate Endgame because I want to see them together. I want some development. And that's why, whether or not Nalu happens, I don't want it to just be Endgame, you know?
Yeah, like, a lot of series do that. Like, they end on the note where the couples finally get together after resolving an issue. Mm-hmm. Very few series go further to develop it, like, you know, past that, like, showing how they are as a couple and how they interact. That's something that shippers want to imagine up.
Yeah.
Like, how they would live together, how they would interact with each other.
Mm-hmm. And because this is a Shonen Jump series, it's a little different from a lot of Shonen Jump series in the fact that it stayed quality over the years. Like, I can't say the same for, like, Bleach and Naruto.
Oh, God, Bleach.
But, you know, I want that. I want my development. I enjoy all the pictures and stuff Masha puts out. I like the little things here and there, but I need more. I do. It's almost there. It's almost where I need it. And the fact that, like, Alzak and Biscuit got married and Elfin and Evergreen are basically canon gives me hope.
Yeah, the fact that Mashima confirmed these, it's good. I mean, like, in Bleach, there's nothing going on. Let's be honest, there's nothing going on. Mm-hmm. And Naruto, there's some things going on lately, but the Fairy Tail has remained quality over the years, and it's given us hope with the instances that you mentioned. Mm-hmm. So, in the future, maybe.
Oh, well. I'm really hoping that this, because of the fact that Hiromashima is giving into all this shipping, that shipping has had a big impact on the series, that he'll do this, and it'll be an example moving forward to people that you need to allow shipping to happen in your series. And that's basically shipping in Fairy Tail. Any last words, Duke?
No, that's pretty much it. Everything in a nutshell.
All right. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments. And if you want us to cover a series or a specific ship or an element of shipping in future shows, feel free to put in the comments, and I will try to get to them. This has been Code Symphonia 13, and...
A Rooster Illusion.
And look forward to more. See ya.